So I would like to speak about this role of the specialist in the context of a fast changing world. And this fast changing world is impacting on healthcare. So if Dayang can start showing the slides. Dayang, I can't see the slides. Okay, thank you very much. Well, that's what I've just been saying. Can we go on to the next slide? Okay, as you know, the main forces impacting on healthcare, there are many others, would be the demographic changes occurring in the country, the socioeconomic trends, and most important, the technological innovations. You know, the increase in the population is actually the more important part of the increase is the aging population. And then we also have the demographic changes in the family structure, the family support, where there's the loss of, you know, the traditional support like parents being close by or staying with you. Now it's a nuclear family. So there's a weak family support, especially in the urban areas. Then you also have expanding middle class, and they have a lot of expectations for healthcare, and also opening up access to the underserved. Then you have lifestyle changes with increased non-communicable diseases. You can see that. And all this will impact on healthcare. Now, the technological innovations, I think, have really great impact, such as, you know, you see down there, gene manipulation, artificial intelligence, big data analysis. Everybody now want to have your data. You open up anything, they want you to have their cookies follow you. And ICT, the advances in ICT have made intersectoral connections easier. So we are not just within our sector, we can now connect to many other sectors. And all of this, you can see, is creating and reshaping, augmenting, and even eliminating tasks, processes, and jobs. And this is happening at a very great speed. So in the future, in healthcare, in some sectors, you see a decline in the jobs. Some even closed down entirely, you know. But health, there will be growth of jobs. But with all these impacts, you're going to see better understanding of diseases, because now you can have more sharing, more ICT changes. You are connecting with each other. Technology is making us understand diseases better. You can monitor health remotely. And then there will be novel interventions, which will be also legal and financial instruments that will impact the healthcare. Already the financial ones, you can see, you know, what's happening. Can we go on to the next slide? So with regards to jobs, so there will be in healthcare job changes. Actually, we've been seeing this already. We've seen how new jobs have been created in the healthcare sector due to technology, you know, because like cardiac pump machinists, for example, in the old days, we didn't have this, but with technology, you have new people, new jobs. So actually, the World Economic Forum says 85% of jobs are not even invented yet. And within 5 to 10 years, you're going to see some of these jobs. Then the practice settings will also change, and the type of care will change. And then because we have automation, now you will have the human machine frontier. There are more and more of this, and this will change the task that we do. And so there will be different roles that leverage on digital technology, roles that leverage on human skills, of course, that we know, and roles that leverage on emerging technologies. Example, artificial intelligence. What kind of roles will it give rise to? Big data specialists, you will have that. And then human-machine interaction designers, because now you have this human and machine, so you need the designers for that. Information security people, process automation experts. So these are some of the people you will be working with. So the future specialists, by the time you come out, I think you're going to see this already, that you will not be working on your own. You will be working as part of an innovation system. That means you have to network, you have to collaborate with other stakeholders, not only within the health system, but outside the health system as well. So can we move on to the next slide? So now this is just to show you the human frontier machine that human machine frontier I was talking about. So you can see how the work done by humans is being changed by machines. So you see how it has come down? Machine has taken over so much. Searching, processing, transmitting information. Our computers are doing that. Look at how it's coming, the machine is taking over the work of this. And then look again, even in the cognitive skills, what we believe we are human beings doing, look at this, machine is beginning to also take over this. And so you can expect, look at this, you can expect that throughout your professional life, you have to keep on reskilling and upskill. And lifelong learning becomes imperative. It's very important because everything is changing. You need to learn how to handle machines, for example, apart from updating your knowledge about diseases. Next slide. What about the shifts in healthcare? You'll see that because of the aging population and so on, you will have more residential and home healthcare services, more outpatient, laboratory, and other ambulatory care services, and even hospital jobs, what you are doing in the hospital, that's going to shift into the office or clinics of your own specialist clinics. A lot. You're not going to see a lot of inpatients, more and more will be coming to your clinics and to the outpatients. Okay, and also because of cost cutting, you know, it's going to be very expensive to maintain everything in a hospital. So things are going to change and patients are going to demand that things move out of the hospitals. Okay, can you go on to the next slide? So what is the role of the specialist in this rapidly changing health scenario? You cannot avoid it. You must participate in the change, and you are going to be the top specialist. You must lead it. You must lead the change, not react to the change. Be proactive. You must lead the change, and you must lead it through innovations. Innovations in your service, the service that you give, it should be safe and ethical, of course. And you must help to educate, to produce a new talent pool. And because things are changing, you will change the way you teach and educate. The new pool is going to be different again from what we are doing now. And of course, research for new ideas and technological advancement. I think these are your roles. You cannot run away from it. Whether you say, no, I'm not going to be in the university. No, wherever you are, service that you give, education to produce new ones, and research. And you must do this at the highest standard of medical care. And please understand, the highest standard of medical care is one that meets the health needs of our society. Always bear in mind, what is the health need? Give that care. That is the highest standard of care. Don't go and benchmark with other countries or other hospitals. Next slide. So I told you about combining three: service, education, and research, because innovation really depends on that. for you to do the healthcare, to innovate and to improve all the time, you need to um, learn. No need to learn. You must work with people, everybody, people in the hospital, people, health professional outside the hospital, and other sectors, you know, like the industry, the NGOs or civil society, philanthropy, media. If you learn how to work with them, the center part here, where you intersect, there's great scope for R&D, innovation, even commercialization of, what happened to my slides? Of your innovation. Then you can do collaborative education. Don't underestimate people out here and out here who can help you with education and training. In fact, you need them, because I told you, if you have residential, the need for residential care, you need to work with this kind of people who can give you mobile health care, who can give you spiritual support, uh, health awareness, housing, halfway houses, and so on. And you need to train people in these settings as well. And of course, health data management across all sectors. So it's not just about your health data management here. Now you can access data here, data here. And that's going to give you better innovations. Okay, can we move on? Okay, very important question. You know what is happening outside. We need to ask, what then is our purpose? Next slide. Next slide. Okay, this we always ask when medical students come in, we ask them this question, why are you here? And of course, they'll give you all these fanciful, good answers, you know, get knowledge, maybe even make money, give back to society, and so on and so forth, to be a good citizen. Suppose we don't ask the students, but next slide. Let's turn the question on you as future specialists. What is your purpose? Think about it for a second. What is your responsibility? And what values do you offer to your stakeholders? The patients, their families, the government, business, the profession, to society. What is it that you want to offer? What added value? So, you must have thought about it. But to me, whether you're going to be quality specialists really begins with how you're going to start. And what is that purpose? That's where we start. We start by saying, what is our purpose? How do we carry out our responsibilities? And that means driving the right outcomes. That is your purpose. What is right outcomes? Next slide. Okay, just to start, firstly, it's not a cozy job, right? Being a specialist, never. You must be willing to work hard and understand you have to work hard, okay? It's not about all the time playing golf. But you are not alone, you know, it's not just about work. It's about accepting and being skilled in balancing work, family, and community life obligations. I'm saying this very early because a lot of people forget. And a lot of people think this is only women. Women need to think about it. Balancing work, family, and community. Every time the women are talking about this because they bear so much burden. They go to work, they come back, they have to look after the family, the home, and also to take part in community life. The men, a lot of them think they have work and then the community maybe. They forget the family. But all of you must know you have work, family, community obligations. That's why gender equality is important, being gender sensitive is important, because family is not just a woman's work. Yeah, it's both men and women. Learn how to teach, learn how to help and mentor students, mentor colleagues and others to achieve success. It's not about you alone achieving success. You have to bring other people with you. And the specialist degree is only the beginning. It's only the start, it's not the end. You must recognize your limitations and always sharpen your inquiry skills, your problem solving skills, your decision making skills to keep current. And that means lifelong learning so that you can continue to obtain the necessary credentials. Not just your specialist degree, but you need other credentials. And you need to be credentialed to do many things later, so that you can become a recognized expert through people see you're an expert when they see your patient outcomes. Of course, if you publish and let it be known, or people consult you, of course, when you go to conferences, and so on and so forth. Okay, next slide. So driving the right outcomes, I want to just stress some desired qualities. Firstly, understand, and I keep on saying, and I'm going to repeat, understand the linkages, that you need to make the linkages between your practice or your service to research, to education and research. And for you, it's already a lifelong education process, okay? And it's only when you make these linkages and do this together, you're going to reach excellence. And you can create innovations, you can make transformations in yourself and for others, because you become self-critical. When you make this linkage, you become self-critical, you're willing to embrace change, you will keep current, you become more creative in your solutions, and you will focus on quality. Oh, by the way, Prof. Zarina, you forgot about my quality work just now. I was the CEO and chairman of Lembaga Akreditasi Negara for some time and did a lot of quality work. Don't forget, quality is one of my what do you call that? Dream word. Can we go on to next slide? Okay. I talked about transformation just now. I just want you to remember that people say think outside the box, think outside the box. Of course, ideas come outside of the box. But where is the transformation happening? It's happening inside the box, okay? Inside the box means your conduct, how you think, what and how you deliver your services. So remember, think outside the box, that change is happening inside the box. Okay, next slide. Okay, just now I talk about linking research, education, and service. Then you need some skills. The most important skill, I think, is communication. That's why I put it up. Whether oral, written, or interpersonal. This is very important. You need to be able to tell stories, okay? In a very simple way, make it entertaining, you captivate people. And you must show enthusiasm. Don't tell stories in a lackadaisical way, you know, lifeless. You must be inspirational, you must be a role model when you communicate. And good interpersonal skills with colleagues inside and outside the institution and with other people. Team player, you will create good networks, build networks, both locally, nationally, and internationally, and make sure you have a global outlook, not just within your institution, this is how we do. No, you must know how things are done elsewhere in the country and elsewhere in the world. And you must be IT savvy. IT, capital T. Okay. Dayang later change to capital, okay? 14. Okay, slide 15. And of course, not to be forgotten, the desired personal attributes: integrity and ethics, regard for others and their work, respect. Make sure your achievements are honestly earned. No plagiarism here. And they stand on their own merits. Serve as a role model to instill values in your colleagues. Not only in yourself, but also in your colleagues. That's why you have to be a role model. If you show respect, the others will respect. You are responsible, they become responsible. You are trustworthy, they become trustworthy. If you can regulate yourself, discipline yourself, you avoid temptations, they will follow you. If you are fair, you're caring, you show the highest professional standards. If you have all this, you will instill the values in others. Next slide. And of course, the social skills, because we have to work with others. But you must have your desire to contribute must be genuine. Don't have other agenda, okay? No other interest. It is because you really want to help, you really want to contribute. And that will show when you have this, is when it's genuine, it will show. People will see, will see the passion. They'll see the perseverance that you have to pursue your goals. You'll see how conscientious you are, how industrious you are, hardworking. And you are not waiting to be rewarded immediately. If you are to be rewarded, you can delay. You don't have to be rewarded immediately. You are very sincere and you volunteer. That spirit people can see. And you are resilient. Even when things are going badly for you, you are resilient. And you are very focused so that distractions are removed. So these are very important social skills. Can we go on? And why do we need all this? Because you have to work with others. We never work alone. And as specialists, you will never work alone. You'll always be working with others. And like Walt Disney said, of all the things I've done, the most vital is coordinating the talents of those who work for us and pointing them towards a certain goal. So that's what it's about. When you talk about good governance and leadership, you must always remember you're working with other talents. And when you work with other talents, keep your fears to yourself, but share your inspiration with others. This is more helpful. But if you keep on telling them your fears, I fear this, I fear that, who's going to move? Nobody's going to move. You must inspire. Even though you fear, outwardly, you must inspire others. Next slide. So this is where good governance and leadership at the highest professional standards come in. So we require, what do you require? Leadership. These are managers who lead by example, and they create a professional working environment, not a toxic one, a very professional working environment. I've seen, people, so-called leaders, they are not leaders, of course. They are put there, they are called leaders. But when they create a toxic environment, they are not leaders. Then collegiality in management and supervision. This is where managers take responsibility for the team and they actively manage work performance. So together, there is this collegiality, colleagues, collegiality, okay? Working together. And you work with people with ethical mind. So when you have an ethical mind, you are going to create people with ethical mind. Who are these people? They carry out their duties in accordance with the organization's expectations of them. Not your own or their expectations or somebody else's expectations. Is what the institution expect of them. or the profession expect of you. Yeah. And policies, you have policies on handling integrity issues, and you have effective processes for risk management, which are known to and are complied with by your staff. So important: leadership, collegiality, ethical mind, having policies and processes, and reporting, accountability. Good governance is always about accountability. Professional, confident professional reporting. There's internal reporting, which will facilitate early detection of problems, and this will contribute to the continuous improvement of the organization. This is good governance, and you need good leaders for that. Next slide. And you know, as a leader, you will be a leader. You have to deal with, I told you, the changing internal and external environments. And change always induce conflicts and crisis, and you need to manage this. So you must be able to grasp and articulate the issues at hand. Then you must show confidence and interest in inspiring others to deal with it. You advise, you guide, you mentor, and you yourself must be brave to take the risk and inspire the confidence and determination to lead others to take the risk and to make the changes, to resolve conflicts, or to handle the crisis. Now, I just want to tell you that leadership occurs at all levels of the organization. Don't think it's only the VC or the dean or the director general of health or the director of the hospitals. No, leadership occurs at all levels. We need the critical mass to implement the organizational program. So all of you are leaders at all levels. Can we go on? Okay, again, by example, if you're self-aware, you show respect, and you can talk properly with empathy. You're very accountable. That means you welcome assessment by others. Don't be angry when people say, give you some feedback. And always follow the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. You're treating others and that's not the way you want to be treated. You speak harshly, for example, or you're rude. Then don't do it, because you don't want others to be rude to you or to speak harshly to you. If you think like this is your rule, then you know you're not going to have all the disturbances and the distractions or offensive things happening at your workplace. They will all be at bay. And keep your people informed, always, your team, so that they know what is coming and what needs to be done. And if you have policies, execute your policies fairly. Don't impose policies on some and not on others. Yeah. Take swift action if you find dishonesty or integrity breaches. Never tolerate this. When you have integrity policies, you must act. But reward creativity and value creating work in performance appraisal. So if there are breaches and dishonesty, you must take action. Don't reward them. Don't keep quiet. But when there are good things happening, you must reward them. Okay, next slide. What else? What else do you need to demonstrate when you lead by example? Adhere to laws, the policies of the institution and the procedures. Don't cut corners. Don't break rules. Work when you're supposed to. Don't gossip. Don't surf the internet or make personal phone calls and so on. Show up on time, every time. Be responsible. I keep on repeating. I know I've said this, but these are important things. Do what you say you will do and keep your promises. If you can't keep, you explain why you cannot keep your promise. And when you are making a decision, make sure everything is on the table. Everybody has said something. You've heard everybody saying something. All the voices are heard. No one is left out. Nothing is left out. Then you make the decision. If not, you're going to make some people unhappy. Even if you don't follow what they say, but at least they are heard. That's very important. Okay, next. Now I'm going to share with you a few words which are very dear to me. Quality was one of them. I didn't deal much with it. Collegiality. I used that earlier. When I say collegiality in your team, when you're managing your team and supervising the people in your team, you must take responsibility for them. If there are integrity issues, detect that early and manage the work performance. You must not blame other people. You must be responsible for your team. Do not cover up bad news, but provide the solution. Now, if your team members make a mistake, like they mess up a project or something, or they miss a deadline, then own up. Let them own up their mistake. It's all right. And when they own up, you must help them to make an opportunity for improvement. Use the mistakes as an opportunity for improvement. Don't let other people take the fall or let someone else take the blame for something that maybe you have done. Do not accept praise or acclaim when it is for someone else's work. You must assign the praise to that person. Of course, that person will say, oh, it's teamwork. Let that person say it, yeah? And work together as a team to build trust and to show integrity. I cannot stress this collegiality more strongly because this is something that breaks. People forget. Sometimes they become head of department. They forget that the others in the department are their colleagues. They think they are the boss. That's not correct. Nobody is above anybody's head. We are all colleagues. Okay, can we move on to the next slide? The next important word for me is integrity. Said this many times. This is following the moral or ethical convictions and doing the right thing in all circumstances, even if no one is watching you. Don't do it just because someone is watching. When no one is watching, you don't do it. That's not integrity. It's a moral judgment and it's character. There's honesty, respect for privacy and confidentiality, and leadership values. All these come in integrity. You understand right from wrong and practice in all that they do. They understand what right is and what wrong is. And that's what we call the ethical mind. Always be true to yourselves and do nothing that would demean or dishonor the integrity. Next slide. Another dear word for me is caring. Caring. Caring is so important, you know, it's at the heart of the therapeutic relationship. Caring, if you have caring, it's not just about to the patients. You will show caring to everyone, to your colleagues, to your students, to the patients' families, to everybody that you come in contact with. Caring. So you have to be receptive. You have to listen to patients or anyone else with empathy and compassion. When you listen, you transform their feelings into action that meet their needs. So you honestly try to identify the blind spots. You know, you may have yours and theirs. The frustration, the anger, the prejudice, sometimes exhaustion. And this can impair ability to care for patients. You need to say, these are my blind spots. And this can cause me to not care for my patients or my friends or my colleagues. So you need to understand these are blind spots. As long as you understand and you know this can cause a problem in caring, you will try to overcome. You will try to handle this. And you will be motivated to prioritize your moral values over other values or desires. For example, your moral value says do what is best for the patient, not what is best for your pocket. Yeah. Don't, for example, order unnecessary tests. That will be good for the pocket. Okay, carry on. Next slide. I want to just end with a few wise words. Like Alexander Graham Bell, he said, to accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe. And look at where we are today. From that simple line telephone, look at where we are, all the newer ICTs and social media and so on. That's really the dream of great things. Next slide. And this is my advice. You have come so far. You should be proud of yourself that you have come so far. And you know you can go some more. Have faith in how far you can go. You can go further. But do not be afraid to explore new paths or even to leave new trails. But don't forget, you must enjoy the journey with your friends and colleagues. Understand each other and work together at the highest professional standards to fill your lives with rich experiences, not things. Experience is what's important, not what you accumulate, not the things that you accumulate, not your degrees, not the string of honors that you get, but the experience that you have. That's what you need to fill up your life with. When you fill up your life with experiences, you can tell stories rather than to show the stuff. Of course, we can show in our CV, we show a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff. But what is important is the stories that you tell in your CV, and that comes from your experience. And as Marden said, we advance on our journey only when we face our goal. Remember, we start with a purpose. I said, what is our purpose? Start with a purpose. When we face our goal, we know our goal, and when we are confident and we believe we are going to succeed, we can go on our journey. Next slide. So, next slide, please. So, I want to end with the prayer, a leader's prayer. May God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you very much.